you should be able to enjoy the proceeds that come in as a result of you producing high quality work that you have developed the skill to produce. I see only sense in that, you know. And while at the school, I would have some tutors, try to bring across and propagate that idea of the starving artist. But at the same time, the people propagating it were tutors. They had some kind of safety net. I knew always that I wanted to just be a full-time creative professional without that safety net of being a teacher. So I just wanted to create things. I wanted to interact with the market. I wanted to supply lovely items to the market and have my customers being satisfied with my end product. And I wanted to enjoy that process. I love the idea of sharing my skill. And as I get older, I think it has become more and more my thinking that you become responsible for transferring knowledge, before you are incapable of transferring that knowledge. So I'm thinking more along that vein now. But when I was younger, I just wanted to explore myself. I just wanted to explore creating and pleasing my customers, my community. And I wanted to also experience some level of reciprocity in terms of getting a meaningful financial compensation for all that effort. And I believe that is only fair, So for me, I really think creatives have to shed that ideology. I think it is dangerous to the creative industries, and you have people still romanticizing that ideology. And I think one of the most troubling things is that I hear creatives holding on to that ideology more than just the common person, and that is scary to me, because at the end of your journey in your senior years, you are going to be the one facing the harsh reality of not having a financial umbrella, and it doesn't bode well to just invest psychologically in nonsense. If I'm permitted to say that, I honestly think it's nonsense. I have to be candid. It's really nonsense. No doctor does that, no lawyer does that, no engineer does that, nobody else does that. So why is it the person who contributes all of this wonder and beauty and grand aesthetic, why do we have to be the social martyrs? Why do we have to bear the burden of starving after bringing joy and satisfaction to the world, for changing landscapes? Can you imagine somebody who contributed to the landscape of New Kingston, like Laura Facey, deciding that, I just want to embrace penury? Why should somebody who has changed New Kingston in a significant way, suffer social martyrdom, and others can enjoy the benefits of pursuing their education? Architects, lawyers, doctors, they pursue, they spend to gain an education, but they are reciprocated. They are reciprocated well, and they live good lives. But the artist is being taught to scrape through life and wear ripped jeans and hand-me-downs, and I don't see the sense in that. And I know that even somewhere out there might be an artist that is just so offended by what I'm saying. But you need to think about it. Do you see yourself enjoying a future without proper health care and you are elderly? Or you can't sustain your bills for your home and you have to go and live with a relative, and you're used to your own environment, but because you did not put in proper frameworks in your youth, you have no choice but to live like that. Think about it and tell me if you are embracing the idea as you're thinking about it, because I am not embracing it and I will never embrace that without apology. If I should give advice to emerging creatives, I would tell them to consider what you're doing a career, a viable career, and get as much information as possible. Educate yourself. Sometimes we have a limited view of what school is. You can always be educating yourself. Knowledge is something that is highly accessible in this day and age. You can go on the internet, listen to other arenas of business, get ideas from other arenas of business. Invest in business coaching. I would tell an emerging creative to invest in business coaching. A lot of the content that I listen to, probably about not 50%, but about 45% of the content that I listen to oftentimes, in regards to just regular information outside of religious matters, is business related. I try to understand business as much as possible. I enjoy watching Shark Tank, and this is not a plug for Shark Tank, but I really enjoy watching Shark Tank because it helps me to get a better sense of how someone makes a pitch, and how somebody comes up with an innovative idea. Sometimes I get ideas from something totally unrelated, so to my creative process. So I remember one particular instance. I had a block in terms of coming up with new designs and so on. And I remember a particular friend of mine had this leopard print shoe, and I found the shoe so interesting because of the print. And I was remarking on how the shoe looked interesting, and she was saying to me that these shoes, animal prints, were in vogue in that period of time. And I said, really? And then I started to just look at different prints and different patterns in the animal world. And I started to explore the zebra patterns. And I remember a particular year just introducing it at the Potter's Fair, and the reaction was overwhelming. The pieces just sold. So don't just remain in a vacuum. Expose yourself to other arenas. Try to get outside of your wheelhouse. Expose yourself to other ways of thinking, and try and learn as much as possible in your own wheelhouse. Look at some of the old masters, some of the techniques. You can probably revitalize the old techniques. Just constantly explore. What I find, that the more you explore is the more you will avert stagnation. Because as creatives, we tend to have creative lurches. Like we have periods of time where we have blocks, mental blocks. Writers have writer's block, and sometimes we have a challenge coming up with new ideas or feeling inspired. So sometimes when you just open yourself up to the world around you, it keeps you alive. And learning is always a good thing. Just expanding the mind. And being that we are talking specifically about entrepreneurship, know as much as you can about business in general. Learn as much as you can about business. I long to see the day where we are treated as equals in terms of the business arena. Because I remember an unfortunate statement being made by a gentleman who is widely known in Jamaica, and he was saying that artists need managers because for an artist, 2 and 2 equals 5. And I found the statement unfortunate because it played into a narrative where a lot of people think people explore creativity because they are dunces. I know many artists who could easily be engineers, could easily be architects, could easily be attorneys, but they love creativity and they chose to be creative. It's not because they are inept. And yeah, I hope nobody, especially a public figure, makes such a misinformed, I'll try and behave myself, such a misinformed statement. The statement sounded so ignorant and offensive. I think I really absorbed that statement. Um, I absorbed that statement and took it personally, not even for myself, but because I've heard the narrative before, and I've heard other creatives express that they were treated a particular way because of how our arena is perceived. And sometimes we help to facilitate the narrative because we don't take ourselves seriously as business people. Oftentimes, it's not that we are incapable, but we have just played along with a particular narrative. And I think it's time to change the narrative. It's time to become entrepreneurial in our artist studio.